Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Coming up in today's briefing, we take a look at the flurry of new product announcements from Google as it looks to end the year on a high and do away with some of the reputational damage that it caused itself earlier this year. Plus, we'll reveal the top iOS apps of the year, a new startup that promises to make pricing management for SaaS companies a lot easier, and a new buzzword to look out for in 2025. As always, if you enjoyed the briefing, hit the subscribe and the like button. And with that, let's dig in. Google is ending the year on a high with a flurry of new product releases. So following the release of last week's deep research, this week, the company has unveiled Veo 2, which is its latest video generation model. And Veo generates high-quality videos up to 4K and comes with an understanding of physics, which allows it to follow detailed instructions. And as you can see from these examples, the quality of the video that is generated by Veo is highly impressive. So if you're interested in generative AI tools, take a look at Veo 2 from Google. Other announcements this week from Google include something called Whisk AI, which is a new tool that allows you to remix the pictures that you plug into it. So you can upload pictures to it and give it a main character and a scene and then remix it in various different ways with different prompts. This is currently available in the US, but should hopefully be rolling out to other regions soon. As well as this, Google also released an enterprise version of Notebook LM, which now comes with more customization and larger token windows. And one release that could be interesting for product teams is improvements to its new coding assistant. The headline here is that it's getting new features which allow engineers to plug in more sources for greater context. The idea here is that engineers can plug sources of information directly into their integrated development environments to provide them with extra context about something that they're working on. So in one example, Google shows us how an engineer might want to connect their integrated development environment to third-party sources like Google Docs to find out more information about the spec or who the product manager responsible for a feature is. So if you think that your engineers could do with a bit more context when they're building features, this could be something to take a look at. But not to be outdone by OpenAI and also Google, Microsoft is ramping up the PR machine this week. In an interview with Microsoft AI CEO and the co-founder of DeepMind, he covers several topics and predictions for the future. He predicts that natural language interaction with AI is expected to become the primary way users interact with technology and access information within the next 5 to 10 years. Voice-first experiences are expected to be transformational, potentially leading to new hardware platforms beyond smartphones. AI-generated interfaces are predicted to become the norm for apps and websites within 3 to 5 years, and synthetic data is increasingly becoming high quality and useful for training. And if you're interested in learning more about AI and how to use it practically at work, then head over to the Substack this week, where I take a look at the AI playground of 2024, which includes practical and hopefully fun ways you can get some hands-on experience with some of the world's leading AI tools from 2024. So this includes things like being able to build dashboards, create songs, conduct deep research with tools like Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, and more. So head over to the Substack if you're interested in that. Other updates this week include a new startup called IP Copilot. And I'm not sure about the branding of Copilot since Microsoft pretty much owns that. But the value proposition here is pretty interesting. So this is a startup that connects with workplace applications like Slack, like Jira, like Google Docs, and so on. But what it does is it scans the information stored in those applications and then searches them for ideas which could potentially be candidates for patents. The company was founded by a team with over 1,000 patents between them. And if nothing else, this is a stark reminder that for many employees, the ideas that you generate during your employment with companies are often owned by the companies that they work for. For companies themselves, this is a fascinating way of generating ideas, and we could see more of this in the future. So imagine a scenario where you're crafting your strategy for next year and you're wondering where good ideas might come from. If you can leverage the entire intelligence of your organization and use that as a source for new ideas and information, that could be really powerful. In other news this week, OpenAI has launched projects, which allows users to organize their interactions with ChatGPT. So when you start a project, you can now name it and assign it a color. But it's what's happening outside of the product that has caught the attention of a lot of commentators this week, with OpenAI saying in a public series of emails that Elon Musk actually wanted it to be for profit all along. So there's this ongoing litigation between Elon Musk and OpenAI. The latest is that OpenAI has published this entire piece which outlines email correspondence and messages between Elon Musk and other OpenAI executives, which they argue proves that he wanted it to be for profit all along. It'll be up to the courts to decide whether or not that is the case. YouTube has confirmed that it's testing voice replies on videos, which will allow viewers to comment and reply to specific videos using voice notes. So rather than the traditional commenting functionality that we all know. This gives users the opportunity to reply to videos using a voice note. Now, given that for some creators, the comment section can be a place where they are subject to potential abuse, it'll be interesting to see how voice notes change the dynamic or the tone of the comment section. If you've got any comments about this, let me know in the comments below. And then once this is rolled out, you can leave a voice note as well. Speaking of YouTube, its execs confirmed this week that viewership is actually growing significantly year on year on TVs. The company has confirmed that over 1 billion hours are now watched per day on TVs in 2024. And one product change which propelled this growth was the addition of a subscribe button on TV videos. So this is an interesting case study in how a small little product change like that can have a significant impact on engagement. In other news this week, it was always said that SQL skills were essential for getting the data that you need. But these days, I'm not so sure, because it's now becoming possible for users to use natural language rather than just SQL. And LinkedIn is a testament to this. And over on their tech blog, they've confirmed that they created an internal bot called the SQL bot, which is an AI-powered assistant integrated into LinkedIn's Darwin data science platform, which lets employees get the data that they need without knowing SQL. So far, 95% of users have rated query accuracy as passes or better, and 40% of users rated query accuracy as very good or excellent. But the most used feature, though, was a feature that they call Fix with AI, which is a hybrid feature that looks at an SQL query, debugs it, and then fixes it, which proves that a hybrid approach still seems to be the most effective way to use AI at work, for now at least. Now let's look at some tools you can use, and first up is a tool called Graphy. And Graphy is a new app which helps you to visualize data so that it stands out and drives actions. So if you're somebody who likes to stand out from the crowd and not use the typical data visualizations that we see in Google Sheets or Excel, then Graphy could be something of interest to you. And another product worth looking at this week is something called 10x Launch, which positions itself as a Google Analytics tool, but without the anonymity. So it lets you get the names, email addresses, and LinkedIn profiles of users who have opted in to share. So this could be a really powerful way of drilling down deeper into the users who are actually using your website. I'm not sure exactly how the technology works, but so long as the users have opted in to share that information, I don't see any reason why this could be a problem. Other tools include a new startup I came across this week, which is called Stigg. And this week, Stigg raised $17.5 million. It describes itself as a product monetization platform, and it gives product and engineering teams a single place to manage their pricing. Now, part of its offering is something called entitlements, and Stigg defines entitlements as a set of permissions defining what a customer can do with your product. So, for example, an entitlement could grant the customer access to your audit logs feature or limit their account to 5 seats within a given plan. Anyone who's worked on pricing changes at large organizations knows this can be a big problem. So if this is something that you're looking into for the new year, then a centralized platform along with a bunch of APIs that Stigg offers could be something worth exploring. Now let's take a look at some data and trends from the week. And we end the year with Apple's annual top iPhone apps of the year. And this year, 3 of the top 10 are Chinese-based, with the rest being US-based, which is exactly the same as last year. But the apps themselves are a little bit different this year. And one notable new entry is ChatGPT. And ChatGPT has made its debut on this chart at number 4, which is pretty impressive considering it's its first year on the chart. Off the list this year is Max, formerly known as HPO. And I do wonder whether their name change that they implemented last year may have had a negative impact on discoverability. The top app of the year is Temu, the Chinese e-commerce brand. But what's really impressive here alongside ChatGPT is that Threads is now number 2, is now the second most downloaded free app of the year. And execs at Meta this week confirmed that Threads now has over 100 million daily active users, which is not bad. The closest European company on this chart was Spotify, which was in at number 17. And honestly, I thought Spotify would be a little bit higher than it is on this list. Other data points to consider this week take us back to AI, and following a McKinsey report which predicts that 12 million American workers will need to transition to new occupations by 2030 due to AI. The CEO of a buy now, pay later service, Klarna, says that AI has replaced hundreds of staff at the company and that they've now officially stopped hiring as a result. In a recent interview with Bloomberg, he revealed that he decided to pause hiring a year ago and that it stemmed from AI's ability to automate tasks that were previously handled by humans. So this time last year, the company had 4,500 workers and are now at 3,500. The company has a natural attrition, like every tech company, he says, and people stay for around 5 years, with 20% leaving every year. But by not hiring, they're simply shrinking. Will other companies follow this playbook and simply pause hiring as more and more jobs get replaced by AI? If the predictions of 2025 being the year of the AI agent are true, then this could be possible. And speaking of predictions for next year, a new survey of 106 generative AI decision makers conducted by Forrester says that 21% of respondents have now said that their organizations have experienced an increase in legal litigation and investigations related to generative AI efforts. So this comes off the back of lawsuits that were filed against Character.ai after somebody took their own life after speaking with a chatbot. As the AI boom continues into 2025 and companies rely on AI more and usage increases, so too, it looks like, will litigation. And finally, look out for a new tech buzzword coming in 2025, and that is long thinking. It's a phrase that is designed to capture the idea of AI models that are designed to take a little more time to think over their results before they respond. So this can mean spending a few seconds or much longer to consider a response. And some applications are designed to take as much as 100 days to think about a response. So as well as agentic AI, look out for long thinking as a new term that we'll probably start to see a lot more of next year. And on that note, we will leave it there. Thanks very much. I hope you found this useful and enjoy the rest of your week.